Welcome to the Bright Ideas Podcast.
So with respect to Facebook and Instagram campaigns, are they profitable from the first purchase, or do you need people to make X number of purchases before you achieve profitability?
You know, it's a work in progress, as I'm sure some listeners can relate to. I would say most times we're not profitable on that first acquisition from a customer on Facebook and Instagram, but we work to make sure that we are profitable on their second. We're kind of making an assumption that a certain percent of customers we pay for are going to return and a certain percent aren't, and we're comfortable with whatever that acquisition cost is. Anyone who's a Facebook, Instagram advertiser has seen it's gotten more and more expensive, but it still doesn't really there's not really that many other platforms that rival the reach and complexity of the Facebook, Instagram platform. So that's where we continue to focus.
In the checkout process, so let's say I'm scrolling on my phone and I see one of your ads on either of those platforms, and I come and say, "Oh, I want to buy, a bag of chips or 2 bags or a box or whatever." What is the thing that people are most commonly buying on the front end?
A variety pack of all 4 flavors.
I'm a variety pack, and how many bags come in that?
You can get anywhere from 8 to 48.
Okay, so I'm seeing eight bags in the variety pack. I'm adding that to cart. Are you doing, in the checkout process, are you doing any one-click upsells where, for example, as I'm saying, "Hey, I want 1 bag," I'm suddenly presented with an offer that says, "Well, if you'd like to take 3 or 5, you can get this discount or this discount." In other words, efforts to drive up AOV, average order value. Are you doing stuff like that right now?
Yeah, it's a great question because we're very focused right now on driving up AOV. We don't do that right now. We just launched a new website back in November, and so there's still kind of some improvements we're making in exactly things like that to drive higher conversion or drive higher average order value. What we struggle with as a brand is we only offer one product. It's a bag of delicious snacks. We don't have really any other products on our website currently that really to go with it as kind of a supplemental product. So people also have an expectation that, snacks are affordable. Snacks are cheap. They don't want to necessarily pay $40 for a snack they've never had before. So we focus more on lifetime value instead of just getting the first AOV super, super high. Snacks is something you get them, you eat them, they're delicious, and then they're gone, and you have to order more. And so getting people to repeat again and again or sign up for a subscription, that's just as important to us as increasing their cart size.
Well, far be it from the host to give any advice, but I have interviewed many founders of consumer packaged goods companies, and I will say that the one thing that I do hear with reasonable regularity is that when you're offering the 2-pack, 3-pack, 4-pack, 5-pack for volume discount on the front end, it is actually quite effective. So for whatever that's worth, maybe you'll want to test that.
Yeah, no, we absolutely will look into that. Increasing AOV or conversion rates or all those things is our top priority right now as we continue to grow and scale our business. So I'll take that advice. We're going to look into it.
And then the other thing on the back end are subscription boxes. Obviously, recurring revenue. That's why I'm in the software business, because I love recurring revenue. It's the holy grail. I have interviewed, and I wish I could think of the exact brands off the top of my head, but I can't because there's been too many of them. But if there's some way you can come up with a subscription box offer, monthly, quarterly, whatever, that can go a long way as well.
Yeah, we do have a subscription. It's just whatever interval of the product people buy, whatever they sign up for, and whatever size. But something we're looking into potentially for the future that I think people love is the interactivity of like a build your own box or create your own recurring box, something like that. So, there's tons of opportunities for us in e-commerce to keep customers coming back. We're only just getting started.
Yep, absolutely. That's the fun of it.
Yeah.
So Are you managing the Instagram and the Facebook campaigns with an agency or internally?
We actually just brought on an agency about a month ago to help us begin to scale our Facebook and Instagram advertising. But previously, we were doing it completely in-house by me. So we're kind of just finally getting to the point where we're really ready to pour more fuel on the fire, take it to the next level.
So that's an approach I've actually seen work well versus just going with an agency from day one. And the reason for that is, you know, what you're capable of accomplishing in terms of the performance of your campaigns.
Yep.
And now as you interview the agent, I'm interested in the agency selection process. Did you, for example, say, okay, agency, you go ahead and create another campaign that is advertising the same offer that I'm doing, and if your campaign can outperform my campaign, then we'll hire you, and if not, why would I bother?
Yeah, no, it's actually part of our thinking exactly when we were hiring an agency. I mean, we consider the performance we were able to achieve in-house as the floor.
Yeah.
You know, can you beat this? So that was one thing. I think the second thing, kind of going back to our conversation about Amazon, is we wanted an agency that, you know, gains more when we do better. So our agreement is actually, you know, a little bit as a percentage of revenue attributed to Facebook and Instagram, and where we actually set a goal in our contract to reach a certain return on ad spend. So there's a lot of incentives in place for them to reach our goals and go way past the floor we set for them. Yeah.
What, in terms of attribution,
yeah,
is a huge challenge. Do you think you've cracked that nut at all? Because it is such a difficult thing to really track.
Oh man, I feel like we could spend the entire podcast talking about attribution itself. We have definitely not cracked that nut. It's been a real challenge for us. You know, I'll give the audience a kind of a peek into two metrics. We have a ton of traffic that comes from paid social like Facebook and Instagram. But when you look at the attribution, especially because most platforms use last click, the vast majority of it is coming from email or direct to snacklins.com.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to say, hey, you know, all this money that we're putting into advertising, it equals directly sales. We can't prove that out. We do have like a post-purchase survey tool that we've implemented to, you know, ask the customer themselves where they first found out about Snacklins. But that usually is actually the more accurate for us. That qualitative survey is more accurate than sometimes these advanced attribution models across Facebook or Google Analytics. Last click, in my opinion, is just not an accurate measure of what is driving traffic and what is driving sales. So yeah, attribution is definitely something that we have not solved. I know it's a hot topic across the industry, but right now, like I said, that post-purchase survey is what we're leaning on most to understand what's driving sales.
Yeah, attribution is a tough one because I could see your ad on Instagram and then I could put it in my Amazon shopping cart, and then a week later I could check out. And like, how do you account that sale was attributed to Instagram? Good luck with that. What are some of the tools that you've tried for attribution tracking?
I haven't actually paid for any attribution tools. I've been in contact with lots of different ones that are out there, but I mean, I've Facebook's attribution tool we've played around with, just the Google Analytics data that's readily available to us, and looking at different attribution models that they offer. We've only really tapped into the things that are readily available and free to us. We're not, because that nut is so hard to crack, we're not really ready to buy a tool.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about your offers on Instagram. By the way, which channel, to the best of your ability to guess, which channel seems to perform better, Instagram or Facebook? Or are they about neck and neck?
It's a good question. I think they've kind of traded places sometimes. It depends on sometimes the ad creative performs better in one place at the other. But I think Instagram just has a higher purchase intention. People are like shopping more actively on Instagram than they are on Facebook. So of late, Instagram's been more successful for us.
So let's talk about the ad creative that's working the best right now. Roughly, what does it look like? Are you seeing like a box, a bag of chips, and oh, these are yummy, you should get some, or what does it look like?
Yeah, well, so we did a rebrand, as I mentioned earlier, a few months ago. So we had to kind of rethink our entire ad creative strategy. We were starting with all new stuff, but what's rising to the top is actually awesome, high quality images, photos of our chip. Snacklins can be hard to describe sometimes. We're not really like a potato chip. We're not really a puff. We're sort of straddling this line of lots of different things, and you only really understand what a Snacklin is once you've tried it. So, showing this really high resolution, beautiful photo of the chip has intrigued people scrolling, on Instagram or Facebook, and led them to learn more and click on the ad. We are kind of showing the bags a lot. Our biggest differentiator is our calorie count. The entire bag is 90 calories, and it's not a bag of air. It's a bag of lots of chips filled to the brim. And so we have an ad now comparing our bag's worth of content of chips to another bag of chips and saying that's 90 calories worth. So we're really leaning in on like something that's scroll stopping. It's been our calorie count, and it's been our high resolution chip photography.
You should have sent me some chips. I could have been munching on them while we were doing
I know. I was like right into the microphone, some ASMR of the chipping of the chip crunch.
Right. Yeah. The ASMR stuff, it blows my mind. But anyway, that's a topic for a different day.